Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement deal with an environmental startup funded by Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. Now, according to an investigation by Pablo Torre Finds Out, former employees are now raising concerns that Ballmer's $50 million personal investment in the company, currently under federal investigation for fraud, went on a round trip to power Leonard's no-show job and skirt NBA rules.
What if I told you the quietest man in basketball just got the loudest scandal in the NBA? Yeah, Kawhi Leonard, the guy who barely says a word on the court, is now making headlines for a jaw-dropping $28 million fraud scheme. Players are roasting him harder than a rookie missing layups in warm-ups, and the drama is spicier than playoff overtime. Stick around, because this story might just be crazier than his laugh going viral.
Joseph Sandberg pled guilty to defrauding multiple investors. In the filing, they noticed a list of creditors to which the company still owed money. Listed among them was something called KL2 Aspire LLC, a corporation that shows Kawhi Leonard as its manager.
The NBA has given us some wild headlines over the years, but this one feels like a Netflix crime documentary waiting to happen. Kawhi Leonard, the human statue of silence, is allegedly caught up in a $28 million fraud scheme. That's right. The man who speaks less than Siri on airplane mode is suddenly the loudest headline in basketball.
In the court documents and in Pablo's podcast, they reported it was $28 million.
Pablo's podcast, I don't know anything about the court documents on this. I haven't seen them and I don't know. I'm not trying to be, I don't know. I really don't know. But the speculation is what it is. And why did they do that?
It's a lot of money. I mean, $28 million, $7 million a year is a lot of money for a guy that you didn't actually require to do anything.
Forget load management. Apparently, the only thing being managed here was a bank account that wasn't his. Imagine being the guy known for his robotic demeanor, his awkward laugh, and his "I'm here so I won't get fined" energy. Then suddenly being roasted by the same players who used to whisper in awe about your defense.
All right, so a bombshell dropped this morning about Kawhi Leonard and the LA Clippers committing fraud. Here's everything you need to know, including my take. So it all starts with this company, Aspiration, which was essentially a financial brokerage for planting trees, where it would help people become carbon neutral. Everyone from Robert Downey Jr. to Leo DiCaprio to Drake invested in this company.
It's like finding out the calculator kid in class was running a candy cartel out of his locker. No one saw it coming. And NBA players didn't waste a single second before unloading on him. Oh, they've been waiting for this. For years, Kawhi has been the quiet shadow lurking in the league. 2 championships, multiple finals MVPs, and an aura of mystery thicker than James Harden's beard oil. But now the floodgates are open and everybody suddenly has jokes. When the quiet kid slips up, the whole cafeteria erupts.
Tell you what really stands out with me and why I said, believe it or not, some of this is believable. Because there's a sentence in here where it says, the deal was with Kawhi Leonard's company, KL2 Aspire LLC, and included clauses allowing Leonard to do nothing, yet still collect payment.
Some players are looking at this like poetic justice. They've been salty about Kawhi's board man gets paid energy for years, and now they're saying, oh, board man gets indicted too? The irony is delicious. You know it's bad when guys who haven't touched a playoff series in half a decade are suddenly jumping on Twitter with hot takes like they've been waiting in the bushes for this moment. And honestly, it makes sense. Kawhi's career has been one long mystery novel. The disappearing acts in big moments, the bizarre injury reports, the load management drama, the trade sagas. Everything about him feels like it belongs in a conspiracy podcast. Now, add a fraud scheme worth $28 million? That's not even a twist. That's a plot explosion.
They did what they did, and I don't know how different it is. I really don't. And frankly, any speculation would be crazy. These were guys who committed fraud. How would I be able? Look, they conned me.
You're one of the richest men in America.
They conned me. I made an investment in these guys.
What makes it funnier is Kawhi's whole vibe. He's not exactly a flashy, scandal-prone superstar. He doesn't run his mouth like Draymond, doesn't stir up drama like Kyrie, doesn't chase the spotlight like LeBron. He just exists. quietly, almost suspiciously quiet. And now people are joking that maybe all those silent stares were just him calculating numbers in his head, running Excel spreadsheets mid-game, planning his next fraudulent masterpiece, and the players slamming him aren't pulling any punches. Some are saying this explains why he always seemed so distant from the team, because he was busy being distant from the IRS. Others are roasting the idea that the most robotic guy in basketball could even pull off a scheme this elaborate. Like, who knew the man who sounds like he's buffering every time he talks could mastermind something worth millions?
The Kawhi Leonard I know, doing nothing and getting paid for it. Now, this is a two-time champ. I want to be very, very clear about what I'm saying. When this man is on the court, he is a bona fide superstar player. This brother is a two-time champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP, okay? He can ball, doesn't shrink beneath the spotlight or the pressure. This is in no way questioning his greatness as a basketball player. But I have stated this on many occasions. He is the worst superstar I have ever seen in sports.
Then again, maybe that's the genius of it. Nobody suspected him. He's been playing the ultimate long game. Everyone thought the guy was just bored, reserved, and a little weird. Turns out maybe he was plotting a heist so big even Danny Ocean would have been impressed. But the backlash? Oh, it's been savage. You can almost see the group chats lighting up. NBA players are ruthless when it comes to clowning each other. Remember when Ben Simmons forgot how to shoot? Or when Paul George gave himself the nickname Playoff P? Multiply that level of mockery by 10. Kawhi's getting torched from every direction. One player even joked that Kawhi doesn't laugh because he's too busy trying not to reveal the stress of FBI agents lurking outside his house. Another said the infamous Kawhi laugh finally makes sense. It was the sound of someone testing out fake signatures on million-dollar checks.
Imagine getting $28 million for just sitting back and kicking it. In Kawhi's case, that actually happened, allegedly. It was announced this morning by Pablo Torre that there were some legal filings about court documents regarding this deal. Allegedly, the Clippers used a firm called Aspiration, which is now bankrupt, to be able to cut Kawhi Leonard a check under the table.
And the memes? Oh, the memes are relentless. Photoshopped mugshots, fake FBI press conferences, memes of Kawhi's laugh being played in a courtroom. It's comedy gold. But beyond the jokes, there's a serious undercurrent here. Kawhi's always been this untouchable enigma, the guy who avoids drama, doesn't care about the spotlight, and just goes home after games like a regular dude. This scandal shatters that image in spectacular fashion. Suddenly, the guy who everyone thought was the NBA's most boring superstar is now the main character in the wildest story of the season.
They signed Kawhi to an athlete endorsement deal that required him to do absolutely nothing. In fact, the only requirement was that the deal was voided if he left the Clippers. There's a lot more to this story. All credit to Pablo Torre for all of the journalism and investigation here. I would recommend checking out his pod. But obviously what's allegedly going on here is the Clippers basically gave Kawhi an under-the-table deal to circumvent the salary cap.
And of course, the timing couldn't be worse. The Clippers are already a circus of injuries, missed opportunities, and playoff heartbreak. They've spent more time on the trainer's table than on the court. Now add in this cloud of financial scandal hanging over their star. This isn't just a basketball team anymore, it's a full-blown soap opera. You could call it Days of Our Clippers, and it would still be less ridiculous than what's actually happening. What's even funnier is imagining Kawhi's response. Because let's be honest, we all know what it would look like. A monotone mumble, maybe 3 sentences total, delivered with the emotional range of a cardboard box. Meanwhile, NBA Twitter is on fire. Players are dunking on him harder than Giannis in transition, and the man himself is probably just staring blankly at a wall, trying to figure out why people care so much.
Get your tinfoil hats out, folks, because Pablo Torre just blew the top off of one of the biggest sports scandals of all time. So Pablo Torre, who low-key has gone from an around-the-horn contestant to the best sports journalist on the planet Earth, has uncovered that Steve Ballmer and the LA Clippers paid Kawhi Leonard $28 million under the table to circumvent the NBA salary cap.
But here's the real kicker. If this scandal sticks, Kawhi might become the most talked about player in the league for all the wrong reasons. Think about it. For years, people complained that Kawhi was boring, that he had no personality, no drama, no spice. Well, congratulations. Now he's spicy. This is the NBA version of the quiet neighbor suddenly being revealed as the star of a true crime documentary. Everyone's shocked, but at the same time, they're glued to the screen. And the players slamming him? They're eating this up. It's open season. Guys who never had a chance to dunk on Kawhi in real life are finally dunking on him online.
Pull this up, Marley. Kawhi Leonard plays for the Clippers, and when he signed his contract with the Clippers years ago, allegedly, Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, gave him an extra $28 million under the table through another company, which violates the NBA salary cap.
Bench warmers, journeymen, even retired players, they all want their shot. Because clowning Kawhi Leonard over a $28 million fraud scandal is the easiest layup they'll ever get. The irony of it all is just too rich. Kawhi, the man famous for saying nothing, now has everyone saying everything about him. The guy who avoids attention like it's the flu has become the epicenter of NBA chaos, and the more players pile on, the more hilarious it gets. Because nothing unites NBA players faster than the chance to roast a superstar caught slipping. So here we are, Kawhi Leonard, two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and now, possibly the face of a $28 million fraud scheme.
What was it like getting to work with Kawhi? He is not what people think. Kawhi is cut from the same cloth as Kobe, as Bron, as MJ. A man like the Terminator, for real.
Yeah.
We were down 2-0 against Milwaukee. Nick Nurse came into the locker room and said, we're going to make some adjustments. We'll get back to Toronto and we're going to be ready. And Kawhi said the adjustment is I'm guarding Giannis.
The players are slamming him. The memes are writing themselves, and the fans are sitting back with popcorn, enjoying the most unexpected plot twist of the season. Because in the NBA, scandals are inevitable, but nobody thought the quietest guy in the league would deliver one this loud. And if this is Kawhi's version of load management, well, let's just say the load he's managing now might involve legal documents instead of basketballs. And just like that, the man who built his legacy on silence is now the loudest punchline in the league.